Hi there, and thank you for joining the Vitamins 101 webinar. I'm Crystal Hammett, Senior Vitamin Consultant for Hotze Vitamins, and today I'm here with Physician Assistant for Hotze Health and Wellness Center, Angelica Clark. Angelica, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, of course. So Angelica, if you don't mind, can you tell us a little bit about your background and natural approaches to health and your experience with vitamins in general?
Yes, I am originally a nutritionist. I was born in Brazil and I graduated as a nutritionist there. And I've been working wellness for the past 8 years. And I joined Hotze Health and Wellness Center last year in October. And I really am passionate for wellness and nutrition and how important that is.
Awesome, that's excellent. Well, we're really excited for our webinar today where we'll be answering some of the most frequently asked questions regarding vitamins and supplements, from when to take your vitamins to which vitamins you should take for common health concerns. We're going to answer all of those questions. So Angelica, you ready to get started?
Yes, I am. Let's
Excellent.
do it.
So let's jump in right now with question number 1. We hear this so much here at the Health and Wellness Center and in Hotze Vitamins. The question is, do any of my supplements interfere with Armour thyroid or any other hormones I may be on?
Yes, and that's a very good question. I get asked that question quite often. It's really important also for the treatment to make sure that we have the best treatment absorption utilization, especially of the thyroid hormone. So you want to make sure that you have for instance, thyroid, we recommend that you take your vitamins and minerals about 2 to 4 hours apart from the medication to avoid decreased absorption and utilization. So most specifically, any vitamins and minerals that contain the minerals, calcium, magnesium, iron, those are the most important ones. So that's a very, very good question.
Good, great. Well, another question we're asked frequently is, what is the difference between our vitamins and other brands? Well, I definitely don't mean to toot our own horn here, but there are many differences in Hotze vitamin products versus other brands. First and foremost, the biggest difference is simply quality. Each and every supplement in our product line has either been handpicked or formulated or recommended by one of our medical practitioners here at the Wellness Center. We ensure that we provide not only the best forms of each supplement, but that they're free of any harmful or unnecessary ingredients such as fillers, preservatives, and allergens that are found in most other vitamin brands.
Wonderful. Crystal, this is really, really good stuff. Now, how do we know for sure that Hotze vitamins have what it says on the label, and how do we know its purity?
That's a great question. So each and every single one of our products is sent out for third-party testing, which tests the vitamins and make sure they're in the correct forms, the right amounts, that they're free of any of those unnecessary ingredients. This way, while we're not currently manufacturing our own supplements, we can ensure that our manufacturers are following the strict guidelines of good manufacturing practices that we follow, and that just to ensure that what's on the label is true to that product.
That's really good. That's really what you need when it comes to something like, nutrition. We know that the food supply these days is not as reliable and it doesn't have the nutrients as we need. So
yeah, very sad and very true.
Now, one question that I get asked all the time about women in their 40s is that, oh my goodness, my life changed when I hit 40. 40 was a landmark for me, and I was tired, I'm sluggish, I can't think clear, I don't have the energy to do things I used to do before. So do you have what are your recommendations? What do you think about that?
Energy levels are so important, and I recommend a few different things. Because energy is so important for your overall health and well-being, it's hard to just pick one vitamin for that. But my favorite energy boosting supplement starts with Dr. Hotze's Power Pack. It's a great individually packaged pack. It has all your vitamin essentials in there to really boost your energy levels, build your immune system, and help your body detoxify properly. So the Power Pack provides you with Dr. Hotze's energy formula, which is a great multivitamin loaded with those B vitamins. It helps with energy and stress management. There's also vitamin C that's really great for energy utilization. You'll also have in there L-carnitine that takes that stored body fat, turns it into energy. Even things like CoQ10 that's great for those internal vital organs to function properly, giving them the energy they need. So the Power Pack is great along with other minerals and antioxidants that are in there. Secondly, I definitely recommend a full B complex. B vitamins are the core for our body's ability to make DNA for new cells and turn the food we eat into energy. You should definitely feel an increase in your energy level when you take a full B complex. So that's what I really love about a high quality B complex like Dr. Hotze's B complex. It's excellent with all the methylated forms of the Bs that are so important for proper absorption and just body function. And finally, I really recommend, in addition to the B complex, supplementing with some extra B12. That methylcobalamin B12 is what you need to make sure it's absorbed properly, but it's going to help with your red blood cell formation, and it's going to really help with those energy levels and just keeping you out of anemia. So that's really important.
Yes. I actually do the same. I absolutely do the same thing. I think the Power Pack, the B complex, and the B12 in its most readily available, absorbable, utilized formulation, which is what we use, activated B vitamins, is the best way. All of our guests really, really benefit from that, so I think that's definitely something we should do.
I agree. So let's talk about another question here about heart disease.
Oh, yes.
Heart disease, the question is, heart disease runs in my family and I want to be as proactive as possible. How can I regulate my blood pressure naturally?
That is a good question, considering that heart disease is the #1 killer in the United States these days. So heart disease is on top of mind of every American these days. I'm not an American, but it's still on the top of my mind. So
as it should be.
I live here, so I know it's, all the, so you have to think about lifestyle is the #1 thing. Of course, you want to have a healthy lifestyle. You want to have a proper diet, right? Those are the most important things. But because, as we talked earlier, we can't rely on food to supply all of our nutrients anymore, which is unfortunate, but unfortunately that's the truth.
Yes.
So what we should do is actually focus on what is really, really important. And my main topic, my main things that's on the top of mind when I'm talking to a patient or a guest that asks me that question is definitely magnesium. Magnesium is really, really important. It's important. It's involved in almost over 300 chemical reactions in the body. It's involved in everything: muscle contraction, relaxation, so heart rhythm control, things like that. So when we're talking about blood pressure, of course, decreasing the heart rate, monitoring the rhythm of the heart is important for heart health. Decreasing the tension in the lining of the blood vessels is important for heart health. So magnesium definitely comes to mind as my top thing.
I agree.
Next, I also highly recommend the blood pressure support we have at Hotze Vitamins, the Hotze blood pressure support, because it's the best blend of herbs I've ever seen, actually, that will support blood pressure. And there's some other things, of course, CoQ10 and things like that, and that's in the Power Pack. So alpha-lipoic acid, it's in the Power Pack too. It's a very potent antioxidant, helps with inflammation in the body. So my top things would be those: Power Pack with all the ingredients that we have there, of course magnesium, and the Hotze blood pressure support. Crystal, I heard there is a new product that we have at Hotze Vitamins that we've been using, but I'd like for you to tell our guests about it. It's really, really good for blood pressure support. Can you tell us about it?
Absolutely. It's called Neo 40, and I absolutely love this product for those with heart health on their mind. We actually did a trial here in our office last week where we tested the blood pressure of one of our staff members. Starting out, her blood pressure measured 140/88. We then gave her 1 tablet of Neo 40, and 10 minutes later, we reread her blood pressure, and it measured 124/80 in just 10 minutes. Awesome. It was awesome. So it works it was really cool to see it work not only properly, but also so quickly as well. Another test proved that after only 30 days of taking Neo 40, lowers blood triglycerides by 27%. So that's very impressive. It's a really convenient lozenge that just dissolves in your mouth. It releases nitric oxide, a compound that's naturally produced by our body, and it dramatically decreases by 50% by age 40. So this decline negatively impacts your circulatory, your cardiovascular health, and it's proven to cause many age-related health diseases as it declines. So if low energy, circulation, or blood pressure or other cardiovascular issues are something that you're suffering with, I highly recommend Neo 40. It's a really easy dissolvable tablet that'll make a big difference.
Wonderful. Sounds like a great product.
It is.
I'm so excited.
Good.
I've seen so great improvement with our guests. So
I have too.
Really, really
the success stories are exciting,
yes,
definitely.
Yes.
So moving right along, a lot of our guests have asked what time of day is best to take their supplements. So I know we touched base on this a little bit, but do you have any more to say on that?
That's really good question. You know, depending on different people, they're going to respond differently. Of course, the recommendations can vary, but rule of thumb, you want to make sure that you take your thyroid medicine, of course, on empty stomach. So
first thing in the morning.
First thing in the morning, and then you would wait about an hour to take your thyroid medication, and then you wait about 2 to 4 hours to take your supplements. But you know, like B vitamins can be taken any time of the day, but preferably in the first part of the day, because we do hear a lot of times our guests complaining that my sleep is not as good. I'm not sleeping well. I'm restless throughout the the evening and things like that, mostly because they're taking their B vitamins too late. Of course, you don't want to take melatonin in the morning. You're gonna be drowsy, sleepy and drowsy all day. So that's not gonna be a good idea. Also, magnesium is good to take it at night. It's a relaxation mineral, so it helps with restlessness. It helps with restless leg syndrome. It helps you feel more relaxed and go to sleep.
Absolutely.
Of course, you don't want to take the sleep formula during the day either. So those are the main things. Make sure that there's the right timing from your medication, especially the thyroid, and also from your meals and things like that. Don't take, for instance, if you get usually nauseous with a vitamin, you want to make sure you would take with a real meal, not just with a little,
hard-boiled egg.
Yeah, exactly, because you will get nauseous. So you may leave it to take it with your lunch or your bigger meals of the day. Of course, like for instance, digestive enzymes, you don't want to take without meal because then they're not going to work. So there are some little specifics. So I'll definitely would follow the recommendations that's on the bottle, but also consult with your practitioner about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or your vitamin specialist.
Exactly.
Yay.
So yeah, a good rule of thumb is B's and the energy in the middle, in the more early in the day. Sleep, of course, before bed. Any sleep things, and then best taken with food usually. So I completely agree.
Absolutely.
So that is such great information. And while you don't have to take all your vitamins at specific times a day, it's just good to know which ones are best to take at certain times.
Sure. Something else I want to touch bases is about, a lot of times our guests want to know, am I taking too many vitamins? Should I be taking this many vitamins? Or which vitamins should I be on? What do I really need? So at Hotze Health and Wellness Center, we have a test called SpectraCell Micronutrient, and I actually have the privilege to review the results with all of our guests. And it's a pretty comprehensive review because we identify symptoms that our guests have that are related to vitamins, and they have no clue that's what's causing it. And so it does not necessarily just assess if you have the vitamins, but if your cells are utilizing it well.
Right.
And it tests about 35 nutrients, so it does not only include just vitamins. It includes minerals, it includes cofactors for chemical reactions like L-carnitine. It does have all the antioxidants. So it's a really good way to know. And as a bonus, you get a report, and that report has some color-coded graphs, which I love, because you can visualize and see where you are and where you need to be and what you need to do. So it's a really good tool that we have to offer.
I love the SpectraCell test. Though I'm like a certified nutritionist and I watch what I eat so carefully, and it's just really interesting. I take so many vitamins. It was really interesting to see just the direct results and how it's impacting the body, and keeping in mind that taking too much of one thing can pull away from another thing, and there's so many patterns like you were talking about. So even after that test, there were definitely some adjustments made to my regimen after reviewing those results, and it's pretty amazing just to see how each and every mineral and vitamin and antioxidant and amino acid just plays a key role in your overall health and well-being.
Absolutely.
Well, we're running out of time here, but I want to make sure to address this one last question.
Okay.
Can I take too many vitamins, and is there anything that I can take too much of?
Yes, you can. You can. Too much of good things are not good for you. So there are some vitamins called fat-soluble or liposoluble vitamins, and what that really means is that they're stored in your fat cells, and whenever there is a need, even if there's a famine and you have not been eating anything, your body will be able to pull those vitamins from those fat cells and utilize when there is a need. So you don't want to build up too much because it can build up a level of toxicity. And those vitamins are vitamin A, D, E, and K. And for those vitamins, you definitely want to work with your healthcare provider to get the right recommendation for you, because there is a risk of building up toxicity. Now, the water-soluble ones are not as much of a problem. It's not really a problem, because if you get too much, you're just going to eliminate it in your urine. So
absolutely. Well, that's great. Well, thank you so much for clarifying that, Angelica, and I know our guests really appreciate your knowledge.
Oh, my
so
pleasure.
thanks
I really
again.
enjoyed being here
Yes.
with you today.
Thank you. Well, that's all we have time for today. We want to thank you for joining us.